When you're on vacation, you're probably gonna be eating out a lot. I mean, that's part of the fun, right? Trying the local flavor, some exotic new delicacy. But when you're looking at a menu that's printed entirely in a foreign language, it can be a little daunting. Fortunately, whether you're an iPhone user or Android, there are apps out there that can help you translate a menu in seconds. All right, let's start with the language that I know the least about, Chinese. For that, I've got an app called Waygo. It's a new app out only on iOS. A free version gives you 10 translations per day, or you can upgrade to a $6.99 version that gives you unlimited translations. That's what I've got here. Let's put it to the test. Let's boot up Waygo. I see a little window here in the app that I need to center the Chinese characters. Now I can use the little zoom slider here to get the text just right in the box. I can also expand the box by dragging on it, but I'm just gonna go with one line of text, make things easy on it. And right underneath it, I should see a translation. Sliced duck. Sounds good. But let's see what else is on the menu. Ooh, we've got pan-fried cuttlefish and bitter melon. I'm gonna freeze that one. Now by hitting the pause button, I'm able to see the translation, and I can actually send this to myself via email. I can hit the share button, I can send it to other people. One option that's not here is the ability to save it to my camera roll. That would be nice. All right, so Waygo, here's what I like about it. The dictionary is built into the app and it doesn't have to access the internet in order to do the translation. That's pretty critical. That means if you're in a restaurant that doesn't have good reception, you're still gonna be able to do the translation. On the downside, it's expensive. It's $6.99 for the full version. The text has to be really clear in order for the translation app to work. Also, the translations aren't spot on. Again, something that's pretty common with a lot of these apps, but it gets you in the ballpark. Next up, I've got an app called WordLens. Now, the great thing about this app is that it works with both Android and iOS. It's free to download, but you're paying $4.99 per language pack, and those languages don't include Chinese. You've got French, German, Italian, and Spanish. That works for you. Definitely worth checking this app out. Let's see if it can work some magic on this French menu. So all I have to do with this one is hold the camera over the text and watch it magically translate into the language that I want. But the really cool thing about this is that it changes the text and replaces it. So you get to see the translation in the context of the menu. Once the translation looks right, I'll hit the pause button, and there you go. It's gonna hold that translation, and from there I can save it to my camera roll, and I can also email it. So that's a pretty cool feature. So here's the good and the bad with WordLens. Now, the coolest thing about WordLens is that it looks like magic. When you show this off to people, it's pretty amazing that it can replace the words right in front of you with your translation. It works with Android and iOS, that's a big upside. Downside is $4.99 per language is still pretty pricey, and the translations aren't the best. I don't know if it's just the menus I was choosing, but there's some pretty hilarious translations here that I'm sure can't be accurate, or I really don't need to eat at this restaurant. All right, finally, let's talk about the best free option out there, Google Translate. This is another one that's available for both iOS and Android, but the Android version has a big advantage over iOS, which is that it lets you translate pictures you take. So let's give it a shot. I'm gonna really throw it a curveball with the menu written entirely in Greek. Let's see what it can do. Get in nice and close and get a good focus shot of the text, and then take the picture. All right, here it's going to do a little scanning of the text, see if it can pick out the letters that are in this picture. All right, and now it's asking me to use my finger to highlight the line that I want translated. There's a variety of appetizers right here, that's good. How about this one right here? Octopus. I'll probably stay away from that one. What about down here? Meatballs. Sure, why not? The cool thing is you can just use your finger to go line by line and figure out what you want translated. That's pretty neat. The other cool thing is when you get back to the main screen of Google Translate, it's going to have a record of everything it recently translated for you. So I can look up the cucumber salad, the tomato soup, the meatballs, it's all there, and it's ready for me to reference whenever I want. So here's the good and the bad with Google Translate. Good news, it's free. Even though the version for iOS isn't as cool as the one for Android that can take a picture, it's free, free is free. The other great thing about Google Translate is the breadth of languages it supports. It goes everything from Arabic to Zulu. You have amazing language support. The bad news is that iOS users don't get that cool camera feature. You still need an internet connection to do any of this translations. You didn't need that with Waygo. And that the translations are pretty rough, but really that same complaint can be made with all of these apps. So there you go, 3 apps that will help you demystify menus printed in languages you don't understand. Now if you find yourself ordering the head cheese or the jellied chicken feet, at least you'll know what you're in for. For more tips like this, head over to howto.cnet.com.